had a really great experience yesterday. I have the pleasure to guide a certain corporate group of employees through meditation and breathing and relaxation once a month. And since everything is virtual now, I had a really cool Zoom session with a bunch of employees for a convention space company. And I introduced them to some breathing, some relaxation techniques, a little yoga nidra. And it's very rewarding to show people these techniques who haven't ever been exposed to yoga or meditation before, and to see that there's actual tangible results that anybody can achieve, even if they've never done it before. So I had a pretty cool experience with that yesterday. I feel honored to share these teachings with so many people. If you're not already seated in your meditative asana, please sit there. Yesterday when we did our Brahmari breath, our bumblebee breathing, I didn't cite my sources. I always like to, give credit where credit is due. And so the Hatha Yoga Pradipika is one of the main sources for all the physical techniques that we do. This big, thick book, so the Hatha Yoga Pradipika is considered to be one of the scriptures in ancient India. It's written in sutra form, so it's sutras. There are 4 chapters, and the Brahmari breath, the breathing, is found in chapter 2 on pranayama and shatkriya. Shatkriya, shat is the Sanskrit name for 6, the word for the number 6, and kriya means a lot of things. You've heard me use that word before, but in this context, it means cleansing techniques. So there's a chapter dedicated to breathing and cleansing techniques. So they're correlating the two, and this bumblebee breath we did yesterday is described here, and Mr. Iyengar also writes about it in his book, Light on Pranayama. So in case you're curious to read more about the Brahmari breathing or any of the other pranayama techniques that's contained there, it's a great resource. So, sure, I can post later. Yeah, definitely. Nalini, namaste to you. And yes, I will post later. So I want to introduce the concept of bandhas. So we've discussed them very briefly, and so I want to bring some more awareness to what bandhas are. Let's see if my fingers are fat or skinny this morning. Bandha. And so lots of these Sanskrit words have H's in them. The H indicates an aspirational sound, bandha. Okay, get rid of that. Lorena, hey, good morning. So what bandha means is bondage, or binding, or constricting. And why is that important? Well, when we constrict or bind certain areas of the body, the yogis teach us that we're controlling energy. So all the techniques of physical yoga, it's all about energy management. How did it show up before I typed? Weird. Scary. There are 3 major bandhas in the body, and I've mentioned them briefly, so let's talk about what they are. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, and Jalandhara Bandha. Mula Bandha has to do with the pelvic floor, specifically the perineum. And the action to engage Mula Bandha is to lift the pelvic floor. Now, you can get your orientation around the sensation of Mula Bandha by squeezing the muscles that restrain the urine flow. So it's around the anus area and the urine flow, the urethra area. But it's not specifically either one of those. It's the pelvic floor that's being lifted. And different teachers have described it in different ways. It's almost like pulling it up as a tent through the center of the body. So it's not so much a contraction in, but it's more of an upward motion. So that what that does is prevents energy leakage from apana vayu. So the motion of prana going downward is called apana vayu, the wind of prana that eliminates. Now when we squeeze Mula Bandha, we prevent downward leakage. So don't leak energy out. Squeeze Mula Bandha. So, and it's specifically applied certain times during breathing and during asana. Next, Uddiyana Bandha, the abdominal lock. So we have the root lock, Mula Bandha, the Uddiyana Bandha, which means the abdominal lock, and Ud means upward motion, Uddiyana means flying up. So the technique to engage the abdominal lock is to identify the area above the navel, so above the belly button, and you pull it back and up. Now it's subtle. It doesn't mean that the flesh and the muscles are actually going to move back and up, but they might, but not necessarily. It's more of the action of engagement. When you engage muscles with a certain intention, energy is manipulated in that area. So the area above the navel is back and up slightly. Now there's also something called full Uddiyana Bandha. Now full Uddiyana Bandha is a technique practiced after the exhale is complete with no air in the lungs. And that is a definite physical action where you suck the belly in like a vacuum and all of the flesh of the lower abdominal moves in and up. And you hollow out the belly, and that's a cleansing. It's one of the shat kriyas. It's one of the cleansing techniques for the digestive tract. That's not what we're talking about with traditional Uddiyana Bandha. Traditional Uddiyana is just a slight contraction and constriction back and up of the area around the navel. All right, lots of theory on this. Now one more, Jalandhara Bandha. Jala means basket, more like an inverted basket that's containing energy leakage upward. I just crack up when I think of leaking energy. It's like we have to wear an energy diaper so we don't leak energy out. All right, why are we containing energy in the midsection though? So if we engage all three, we're containing energy in the abdominal area where, I know it is, where it's needed most for digestion, for assimilation of energy, for processing. This is where the majority of the bodily functions happen in the chest and the abdomen. So I didn't actually explain what Jalandhara Bandha is. It's very subtle. Let me actually turn sideways here. So the chin is brought down and back. So it's not like a too severe of a motion. It's just subtle. So chin is down and back. So the yogis tell us when we engage the bandhas, we heighten and focus the energy in our bodies. So let's play with that during breathing. We'll play with the bandhas, all right? So I'll guide us through. Hey, Sana, good to see you. Sit tall, please. Find your stable pose. Let your shoulders relax. Let the head grow tall. Let the face become fixed and relaxed. Eyebrows are unfurrowed. Lips are slightly parted. Let the eyes close. Gentle ujjayi, deepen the breath. Refine the breath. Trace the pathway of the breath with your mind. Let's first identify the Uddiyana Bandha, the abdominal lock. So with your eyes closed and your hands resting on your knees and shoulders relaxed, just begin to play with the sensation of gently constricting the area above the navel, pulling it slightly back and up. See what that feels like. Now you notice that it might be easier to do this as the exhale is occurring. So engage it on the exhale and release it on the inhale. So as you notice the body exhaling, engage Uddiyana Bandha, finish the exhale, and then when you inhale, release the Bandha. Now let's move down to Mula Bandha, the root lock. Practice, play with the sensation of lifting the pelvic floor, the perineum. See what the sensations are like down there. Imagine that you're creating a barrier at the bottom of your being to prevent energy drainage. Don't drain your energy out. Keep it contained. Again, engaging as the exhale is occurring, and then release during the inhale. And now let's practice Jalandhara Bandha. Lower the chin slightly and pull the entire skull slightly back. It's subtle, just a centimeter or two. It's not a very big action. It just creates this little constrictive point to prevent an upward motion of energy out of the midsection of the body. Now for Jalandhara Bandha, you can keep it during the inhale and the exhale. So now practice with all three, engaging Uddiyana and Mula Bandha for the exhales only, releasing them during the inhale. The more we learn to control the structures of our physical body, the better we can take care of our bodies, and the better stewards we are of our energy, stewards we are of our physical nature, and of course, stewards of our mind and emotions. So this is one more way to gain control over our existence. So we are not controlled, rather we take the driver's seat. Continuing to refine the breath. Inhales and exhales are smooth. Bandhas engaged on the exhales. About another minute of this in silence. Okay, good. Please release the technique and just be still. And now we have a contemplation. It's not so much a meditation. The idea is not to transcend. The idea is to contemplate. Mind is empty. Body is like the vast expanse of sky. Mind is empty. Body like the vast expanse of sky. Mind is empty. Body like the vast expanse of sky. Contemplate the meaning, the sensation, the effects. Mind is empty. body like the vast expanse of sky. Let's chant one Om together, please. Let's prepare with an inhale and exhale. Breathe in. And prepare for Om. Inhale. Before you open your eyes, have the intention to send out peace and love to the world, harmony, unity, synchronicity, sameness of intention and vision to the whole world. And now see the world as harmonious, bathing in white light, peaceful light. And slowly come back, opening the eyes when you're ready. Have a beautiful morning and a beautiful day. Thank you for being here. I value all of you. See you tomorrow.